Good evening, all my little fluffs and technical critters. Daisy here with you tonight with another Tech Talk. Well, again, you'll have actual hands here. I apologize. I need to press buttons, and therefore you get hands. So, today we're going to talk about a laptop. Now, this is not my first laptop. In fact, my first laptop was a Pentium 3, 700 megahertz IBM ThinkPad. I had it long past the point when I was using it. I ended up giving it to my mother, who gave it to my sister, who it's disappeared into the ether at some point. That's okay. It was a Pentium 3, so like 99, 2000 era laptop. It's not like I would be doing much with it today. I do, however, have some other interesting things still in lines of laptops. In fact, yes, there are other laptops that I've acquired through things getting thrown out or whatever that have come and gone because they eventually died. A secondhand Dell one I had eventually died. Some other small one died, but these ones still exist, and we're going to talk about one of them today. First, a lot of my laptops and things do have names. This one is named Pepto, and was named Pepto almost immediately upon purchase. You'll see why. It is the color of Pepto. I added the Minnie Mouse sticker at some point. But it is an Asus EEE. Not the exact first run. The exact first run was a 2 gigabyte model. This, my friends, is the slight upgrade. A 4 gigabyte model. Ooh. There it is booting up. So, I had a laptop that was pretty darn good at this point when I bought this one. But I was currently using a boat, as I refer to it. I'll review that one soon enough here. Possibly actually go over that today, depending on how much time I have. But that wasn't extremely portable. And at the time, I had a flip phone. It wasn't even a very good flip phone. So it's not like I was surfing the internet on that. If I wanted to go around the house or something with a computer that I could easily just browse the web on, my laptop was huge and it was just lugging around a ton for no reason. Also, the battery in it didn't last long because I used it for work, so I kept it plugged in and the battery kind of just turned a potato. Oh my. Well, that's still okay. That's PG. Forget what you have on your desktop background when you don't boot up a computer for months / possibly years. Wow. Now, these things were made simple and cheap. And I don't mean that necessarily in a bad way. They were meant to be inexpensive little laptops that any college student could have and carry around to type notes on, to surf the internet on, to watch videos and stuff on, but not a lot else. They were not exactly gaming rigs. And they came with a version of Linux on them originally, at least all the ones when I was buying them were. And the original ones had a 2 gigabyte hard drive. The second run had the 4 gig hard drive, which was slightly more expensive if I remember right. And I think they also at the time had an 8 gig. Finally booted up. That you saw from the point I hit the button to how long that took to get to XP. Man, I don't miss this kind of boot up stage. It's probably still loading stuff. And I don't know if it's ever been on this home network. So that might not happen. Oh no, it's thinking about the Wi-Fi. It's thinking about it. It's thinking about it. Pretty sure Windows Defender is going to be way out of date. Oh, cool. Connected. It's on my Wi-Fi. Yay. It had a touchpad on it, like pretty much everything did after IBM kind of owns it on the touch point thing, and no one else could do that. And putting a trackball on a laptop was a waste of space. And one of those like double-ended buttons, so I always found touchpads frustrating. But on a screen this small, a touchpad isn't that bad. The keyboard was a little small, just like a hair small for trying to touch type, in my opinion. Not bad, but not great. It was still doable. Uh, it's extremely lightweight. I still find this an amazing product just for how little actually had to be in here to make it a computer. Yeah, the display is pretty small. It's like a 7-inch display. The sidebars here are where the speakers are. It had a webcam and a microphone, so you could do stuff like, video chat and whatnot. Obviously, I had Wi-Fi since it is connected to my Wi-Fi, and I don't have to buy an adapter or anything. Total of 3 USB ports. I think there were 2. I'm not sure. Yeah, it says 2 next to it, so I'm guessing they're USB 2. It had a VGA out in case you wanted to plug it into a monitor. I actually did that a couple of times for interesting reasons. Once because something got stuck on the screen that was too big, and I couldn't get it off. So I plugged in a monitor, shift Windows it over to the other monitor so I could close it. But yeah, 3 USB 2 ports, the VGA port, headphone and microphone jacks, individual, something you'd stop seeing on regular laptops. It had an SD card slot that fully submerges the SD card. That I made much use of because a 4 gig hard drive, it's not that much. Now at the time, again, this was, I was living in York, so bleh. Worked here 15, so 12 to 14 years ago, we'll say. Somewhere in there, these came out. I can't remember the exact date. I didn't look up details. I apologize. I'm not the perfect reviewer. I'm talking about a thing in my experiences. So I got a 16 gig SD card, which is not currently in it. It actually moved to something else at some point because, well, this computer stopped doing things in normality. A lot of the odd functiony keys that you do occasionally use are hidden under other keys, like on a keyboard here. You can see like page up and page down work functions of up and down arrow and stuff, and delete and end. And you have to hold down the FN key to function those on. Kind of annoying, but tiny keyboard, minimalized space. And yeah, there were some function, kill, go, activate, change volume and stuff up on the F keys as well. Give you a little bit of a look at that. Can't promise you'll be able to read those all perfectly, but those were things you would normally do when typing. You don't normally have to press volume up in the middle of typing, but you might decide to press end or home when you're in the middle of doing something, and it does interrupt you to have to hold down function and go find it over in the arrow keys as opposed to being in a little 6 block. That's an extremely minor gripe, okay? That's not a common key. I'm not going to complain about that. For all intents and purposes, I'm not sure how the battery still is because I fully charged in ages. In fact, for this video, I literally just reach under the desk to plug it in. But I remember it did have pretty darn good battery life at the time, and I was able to travel around a lot with it. It worked really well with a lot of ROM type games, so may have carried around some NES games and SNES and Genesis games and a controller, but I can neither confirm nor deny that ever happened. Castle of the Winds did go open source at some point. That's something I threw on here. That's a Windows 3.1 game for all you children. I even loaded my Steam profile on here. Pigeon. Wow, that's ages ago. So I haven't used this way long time. Winamp, oh my. Yeah, well, you can see what I was still doing. That I played music, I chatted, I browsed the internet, and I maybe played some stupid games. Interestingly, it does have a network jack and a stub for a dial-up modem. From what I found, none of the versions of the EEE ever had a dial-up modem, but probably, seeing as how when this came out, they may have been still pandering to the potentiality that someone might need a dial-up modem. And I say that back at the point of when they manufacture the shells. So they may have been thinking they might make a model with a dial-up modem. So I find that really interesting that every model I've seen of the similar shape mold these ones are has had that little kind of rubber plug there in the dial-up modem hole. So I find that pretty darn interesting. The battery is this like nub on the butt here. I'm not going to try and take it out with my head on, but there were two latches. There was a one that stayed latched, stayed whichever way you pushed it, and one you had to hold to release it. So you couldn't accidentally just pop your battery off in the middle of doing something. You'd really have to work for it. You could change up the RAM, but with Windows, Windows XP did not play nicely with not letting the paging file be small or non-existent. When I would put the 2 gig stick of RAM I bought for it in it, as opposed to the 512 meg, it immediately said my hard drive was too full and I couldn't do anything. I switched back, it's fine. I tried turning off the paging file, tried moving it over to the SD card. I tried all sorts of things for a while, and I just gave up and said, this thing just has 512K. Not a big deal. I mean, it runs everything I needed to on 512K since, well, the processor isn't exactly, da bomb, and I don't normally use it anymore. It has long since lost its usefulness in my life. But I do keep it around for kind of nostalgic purposes, and kind of, out of all the stupid old things to keep around, it doesn't take up a lot of space, which was really one of the biggest purposes of this little guy, and it makes me happy. Weird changing it up tech entertains me to some extent, and this little fella was part of what changed the world up and kind of made netbooks be more of a thing. It wasn't the first smallest computer, and it won't be the last. It wasn't the first cheapest computer, and won't be the last. But it was a big step and a really cool thing. And it came in pink. And I think it was only a couple $100. So, I mean, honestly, just having this little thing was kind of neat. So, well, did any of you have a little EEE PC from Asus back when they were the new fad? Did you have good or bad experience? Did you put Windows on it instead of whatever version of Linux it was? I actually can't remember. Did you try and change out the RAM with this little panel on the bottom? Which I did. Did you take it with you to college? Did you take it with you to work, just browsing around on your breaks? Or just on vacations or whatever? Or the living room to chat online and not have to be stuck at your desk where your bulky desktop computer was? Curious. But hey, that's a little bit of tech for you today. I hope you enjoyed. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Hit the little dingly bell for the little dingly bell. Let you know when I post new videos. Who knows? Could be Daisy. It could be more technological talk. I do have at least this particular series that I just started into. I can think of several things I'd like to chat about, and at least I think I can be somewhat entertaining for. So yeah, please tune in for that. And of course, Patreon link and Coffee link are in the description box below, both of which are good ways to help support me and my channel. And a couple other things I was thinking of as I was saying all that. There's not a lot of active cooling on this. There's no like fans and stuff as I remember, but there's like a vent on the side here. There are like a few little vents on the front, but it never really generated a lot of heat. Oh, there's one right there. There. But it never, I've never had it get really warm. The power adapter was an interesting one. I can't pull it out to show to you because it's turned on. But it was a white, just kind of power brick. As opposed to like one of those ones where it's plugs in the wall, then there's a little black lump, and then another cable coming back out of it. Now this was kind of reminiscent of like an old NES or Genesis type power wall wart. Not quite as bad. I mean, it's not like it blocks other outlets, but it definitely was kind of chonky. Very interesting. Well, I'll do it anyway. If it turns the thing off, turn the thing off. Battery news. There we go. It didn't turn it off. See, here it is. It's this little wall wart. It's not that bad. It actually, on most power strips, will not interfere with sides as long as it's one of the ones that goes this way, not this way. And for travel purposes, the prongs slip in. And that's it. That's the whole power converter for the dealio. Oh my, yeah, the battery's about dead. I'm going to put that back in there. I can't see, so I don't know if I'll manage. Yeah, we'll just worry about that in a second. And the model I got came with this nice little neoprene case too, so good for traveling. So, yay. Anyway, that's EEE PC. Thank you for spending some time with me. Daisy thinks you're all awesome. Of course, let me know in the comments if you had one and if you liked it. I look forward to seeing all my little tech heads and fluff butts again real soon. For now, thank you for spending some time with me, and I look forward to seeing you on the next video. Bye-bye for now, all you little fluffs.